Hey guys, it's Leaky here from Coastal Football for another A-League club season review. We're going through all of the A-League clubs and talking about their 21-22 seasons and how they fared. And it's time to talk about the Newcastle Jets. And of course, if you're familiar with the channel, it is quite obvious that I'm a Mariners fan. And I just want to say before jumping into this one, I'm going to try and stay as unbiased as possible, of course, knowing that this side are my club's rivals. But look, Newcastle Jets, I mean, straight off the bat, we have to say, have been a massive improvement from where they were last season. When you look back to the previous season, Newcastle Jets, I mean, we're basically stuck in the bottom two for much of that campaign and struggled towards the end of that season, and they really needed something different. They needed just a different leadership, a different group of players, and that's exactly what they did by bringing in Arthur Papas and some players that we were familiar with across the A-League and some players that we weren't familiar with. And overall, they improved big time. First of all, Arthur Papas, I think, did a fantastic job bringing in, as I just mentioned, the mix of the players that we'd already known, established A-League players, and these players from overseas, who quite an interesting, collection of players from all over the place. As we'll talk about some of those individual players in just a second. But overall, looking at where they've finished this season, it's certainly much more positive than where they were last time around. When you look at their results from this season, Newcastle Jets, they picked up 8 wins, 5 draws, 13 losses. But the really exciting thing is the goals. I mean, it was just goals galore every time Newcastle played a game, basically. 45 goals scored. That was one of the best in the competition. But what let them down is their defense. 43 goals conceded. And yes, that is a positive goal difference by only 2, but to conceded 43 goals, that is the reason why they didn't make finals this year. They were so good in attack for much of this season, Newcastle Jets. First of all, Pena, the Georgian. What a signing. What a fantastic signing. Arguably the signing of the season. And I think that's fair to say, considering where Newcastle were. To bring in a striker, and look, Newcastle have brought in a number of strikers from overseas in the past, and many of them haven't worked out. And this has been one of the best, international signings that Newcastle have made in their history. I mean, for the Georgian to come in, Pena, and second top on the Golden Boot race, I mean, that's just superb. And his goal scoring exploits. It's not just his goal scoring ability, but just the way he gets involved in the game and gets involved in the build-up play and his combination with his teammates. And that will lead me on to Daniel Pena, who for many people might even go as far to say he has been up there for maybe player of the season. He has been so impressive, and chipping in with assists, that's been the main thing for him. Hasn't had as many goals, but just he's so exciting to watch. And even though he's from my rival team, watching Daniel Pena, he is exciting to watch every time he's on the ball. His ability to take players on, combining with Pena, and again, dropping back, you'll see him drop right back to the halfway line, and then just play the perfect cross ball over to the wing to switch up the play. He has been an absolute star signing from Newcastle Jets. We're already hearing at the time of this video that there are rumours with linking him to a move to Sydney FC, which would be quite interesting for next season in the A-League. But what a player he has been for Newcastle Jets, an absolute star signing. So those are the two star players who just came in and revolutionised this Newcastle Jets side. Shout-outs to Savas Siatravanis and Olivier Bumal. Didn't quite steal the spotlight as much as the first two guys did, but still certainly contributed to that Newcastle Jets attack and made them a much more formidable side going forward. Angus Thurgate, once again, another season at Newcastle, and he was just superb. I mean, he's just getting better and better, and one of the most hard-working players in the league. In the league, when you look across, when you compare all the midfielders, I don't know if anyone runs as hard and as fast as Angus Thurgate in the league. Defense is where they let them down. I mean, after losing Nigel Bogard and Topper Stanley leaving the club, they needed something different there in defense. They opted for Matt Yeoman and Jordan Elsey. And look, like individually, I thought, especially Jordan Elsey, I thought had some really solid games. I remember that 2-0 win they had at home against Sydney FC. Jordan Elsey was fantastic. Even Taylor Regan, who returned to the club, even had a couple decent games here and there. But overall, it just wasn't good enough in defence. And I think that's the area that Newcastle need to look to strengthen in next season. Whether they maybe, if they have another, like an international spot, a foreign player spot open up, potentially looking to bring someone in that role, just another central defender, just to shore things up. Because as I mentioned mentioned earlier. That is the thing that let Newcastle down this season. And I think Jets fans know that. I mean, we know how good Newcastle were in attack, and they had some big score lines. 6 goals against Perth Glory. Twice this season, they defeated Wellington 4-0. Twice. So, look, the goals were not in short supply for the Novocastrians. But in defense, that was really what let them down. And unfortunately, in the end, just lost too many games and fell out. And it was interesting, too, because just a few weeks out from finals, they were in contention, but they've fallen away and looks like they might finish as low as 9th this season. So, look, overall, for the takeaway for Newcastle Jets, a big improvement compared to last season. They've brought in some fantastic players. Whether those players stick around for next season will be interesting. Of course, we're already hearing the transfer rumours. But Newcastle is certainly on the up. And I think under Arthur Papas, that is the right man to lead them forward. It'll be interesting to see how they go next season, what sort of squad they put together. But there's no doubt they'll be up and pushing for finals, knowing that they got close this time around. They'll be aiming for nothing less than a top 6 finish for next season. What do you guys make of Newcastle Jets this season? I want to hear your thoughts, so jump into the comments section. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more season review videos like this, make sure you hit the like button and click subscribe so you don't miss your club's season review here on the Coast Watch Football YouTube channel. My name's Leaky. See you guys in the next one. Cheers.